Welcome back to Mott Underwater. I'm James Mott, coming at you this week with Pillar 2 of the Instructor Evolution Framework, teaching clarity. This is the part that's going to separate you from all of the other instructors out there. The instructors who just went through a basic IDC, ITC, whatever you want to call it. You're taught to present an agency's materials. But what they don't give you is how to clearly convey education and what the goal really is. Because when you present just a basic open water skill, one of the 20 some odd skills that you're taught to teach as an instructor, what we're given is goals for compliance, how to get them to monkey see, monkey do, copy you as an instructor. But that's not learning. Learning is when you can take that person and completely change their behavior, who they are, into a diver. Not just a person with scuba gear on, not just a person going diving, but becoming a diver. If you're here and you're still watching this, that's because you want to be that instructor, not just the regular old instructor who throws scuba gear on somebody and tells them to go diving. Most instructors are taught how to teach someone to complete a skill, how to be compliant with standards. What you want to do, what you're trying to become, is how to transform somebody into somebody new. Most instructors are just taught how to present skills and get their students through it as quickly as possible with the least amount of work, make it seem easy at the beginning, demonstrate the skill, practice the skill, pass, handshake, let them move on. That's where we are trying to be different. Because you see, the moment you disappear from them, it's gone. Success for them is only there because you're there in the water with them. That's not real diving. That's not real success. That's not what separates you from everybody else. If you want to be the instructor who's evolved, that people seek out, it's because you don't leave it at that same demonstrate, practice, handshake procedure like everybody else does. Real teaching, real education is about changing behavior. And that's not a student problem. That's not a problem that they have to take care of. That's your problem, especially if you want to transform yourself and evolve and be something bigger and be something better. Most instructor courses don't teach you to be an educator. They just teach you how to run a class. A carbon copy of a class that's given to you from the top of the agency down. Real teaching is something completely different. Look at real education outside of the scuba world. It doesn't work how scuba works. You don't learn it in 10 days. It's something bigger. It's something more. And scuba traditionally does not teach it. That's why I built a system, because I know that you as instructors are not getting it. And people are asking for it. They want something bigger. You can be part of that. I've built something called the ASCENT protocol, because any instructor can show you how to dive, how to get back to the surface, but very few instructors know how to teach someone to properly ascend. It's everywhere, from buoyancy control, balance, trim. It's where things go wrong on the dive if you really think about diving. I mean, you can do whatever you want underwater. It's all about the ascent. And that's where the problems occur, because people come up too fast. They lose control. People come up too slow because they don't have awareness. They don't have a feel for the water yet. They have to pull themselves up a line. People come up in a chaotic mess where they lose track of their surroundings, they lose track of their buddies, they lose track of the ability to control the situation and help if they need to. And you know what? Teaching scuba is the same thing. The goal isn't for them to be able to get back to the surface. The goal is something bigger, for them to transcend themselves and learn how to properly ascend from a dive and from life. That's what separates you from the rest of the scuba instructors out there. In the Mott Underwater Instructor Evolution Framework, I teach the ASCENT protocol. Scuba loves acronyms, and this is no different. ASCENT. The A stands for awareness. You can't change what you can't see. And most instructors are so focused on just completing the skill, they don't see the big picture, because deep down, truly, they're still working on themselves. They haven't moved themselves into a level of being able to see the wide open big picture. Awareness is key. The S stands for structure. If learning isn't clear, it's never going to happen. The student needs to know what it is that they're doing. Why are they there? What does success look like? They need that understanding. And if your student can't recognize what success really is, they're never going to get there. C stands for conditioning. You see, behavior is built. It's not just explained. It comes from repetition, reinforcement, and what we know from the law of primacy, it's how you do things first. These are the laws of learning. It's key to real education. E stands for environment, building the correct environment for learning. Because if you're in chaos, there is going to be no learning. There is going to be no change of behavior. It's essential that you have buoyancy, balance, trim, that everybody does, so that you have a stationary class to work with. Imagine learning in a classroom with desks floating and flopping and flailing and students running around the room. It's never going to happen. You have to be able to create the right learning environment underwater. N is the neutral shift, where the diver has to transform and can stop focusing, hyper-focusing on performing a skill, and it just becomes part of them. That's what we're looking for, where you've trained so deeply a skill that it just comes out of you that you don't know how to not do it. And you don't dive in a manner of trying to control your buoyancy and trying to have the right frog kick and trying to be in perfect trim. It's there. It's become part of who you are. That's the shift that we're looking for. It's the T, the transformation. And they have to do it without you. Because if you still need to be there for them to be able to do the things correct, they haven't learned it. They haven't changed. They haven't evolved. You haven't evolved as an instructor. What we want to create is an independent diver, and traditional scuba does not do that. They teach you to follow a professional, follow a dive master. We want to build strong, clear thinking, independent divers. And when they can do that without you there, now we know we've built a competent diver who's capable, truly independent, and most importantly, you've built a confident diver that will be a diver in their heart and soul for the rest of their life. This is how you build better divers who are independent, confident, controlled. This is how you change the world underwater. It's not a quick class. It's not a fast weekend. It's not the cheapest program. It's real learning, real education, and it doesn't come from the traditional IDC that you've been given. Your instructor school taught you to teach skills. It taught you standards, how to fill out forms and paperwork and website data. It didn't teach any of this. And this is why a lot of instructors, just like a lot of divers, leave the system. They get tired of it. Instructors struggle more than basic divers in many ways, especially with the big picture. You know, deep down, this is the problem that a lot of instructors face, is they know that their students are relying so heavily on them that they worry when their control is not where it should be, and when it's not consistent. You also might be an instructor who feels that your level of understanding and ability is only surface level, that you want something more. And the confidence that you're looking for didn't necessarily come with your instructor rating, because it doesn't come with certification. They're two different things. It comes from knowing that you can change someone as a person, as a human, completely change their behavior. And when you've done that yourself, you can then do that for someone else. And that is teaching clarity. So if you dive into the instructor evolution framework, download the assessment, email me, jm@mottunderwater. I'll send it to you. If you start working with me, the ASCENT protocol, like I just gave you, you can do it yourself or you can work with me if you want to, but it's how change happens. It's how you make the change happen. And it's just the beginning. And I'll dive into each of these letters of the ASCENT protocol more as we go along. But it's far deeper, really, than you were ever taught, than I was ever taught. Email me. Check it out. Message me. Make a comment. Let me know. I mean, you're an instructor. You're teaching people. You're certifying people. Instructor school that you went to gave you permission to teach people. But instructor evolution is how you change yourself and how you really change the behavior of other divers out there. And we can elevate this whole entire game that we all enjoy playing. Talk to you next time. Thanks.